Dear students, I hope you are all well and enjoying your online classes. Today, we will start our new chapter, Conservation of Plants and Animals. Last year, you will be studied about different national parks, okay, which include Bharatpur Sanctuary, okay, and sanctuaries also, Kaziranga National Park, okay, Nicobar Biosphere Reserves. So, one question will be arise in your mind that what is the purpose of making national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves? Okay, so first of all, before this, a question arises that why we need these national parks, wildlife sanctuaries as biosphere reserves. So its main cause is deforestation. Okay, so first we have to understand that what is deforestation and its causes. A great variety of animals and plants exist on Earth. They are essential for the well being and survival of mankind. Today, a major threat to survival of these organisms is deforestation. We know that deforestation means clearing of forest and using that land for other purposes. Or you can say falling of trees, okay, from any area is called deforestation. Trees in the forest are cut for some of the purposes mentioned below. First, procuring land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furniture, or using wood as fuel. Some natural causes of deforestation are forest fire and severe droughts. These are natural. Okay, mainly the deforestation uh, is caused due to the men. Okay, by men are major cause of deforestation. You have to do activity, add more causes of deforestation to your list and classify them into natural and man-made. Okay, so this is a task for you, so you can do it. Next, we read about the consequences of deforestation. Paheli and Bujo recalled the consequences of deforestation. Okay, means what are the reasons of deforestation? They remembered that deforestation increases the temperature and pollution level. Okay, on the earth. Okay, so you can easily understand that this is the main result of this deforestation. It increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Groundwater level also get lowered. They know that deforestation disturbs the balance in nature. They were told by Professor Ahmed that if cutting of trees continues, rainfall and the fertility of the soil will decrease. Now a question arises in your mind that how does deforestation reduce rainfall on the other hand and lead to the floods on other. Okay, moreover there will be increased chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts, okay, because due to the changes in climate. So now you can recall the process of photosynthesis. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, resulting in the increased amount in the atmosphere. This will lead to global warming as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays deflected by the earth. Deforestation is a major cause which leads to the change in soil properties. Physical properties of the soil get affected by plantation and vegetation. Okay, plantation means sowing of plant, okay, or seed. Recall from class 7th how trees prevent soil erosion. Fewer trees result in more soil erosion. Removal of the top layer of the soil exposes the lower hard and rocky layers. This soil has less humus and is less fertile. Gradually, the fertile and less converted into deserts. It is called desertification. Okay. Deforestation also leads to a decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. The movement of water from the soil surface into the ground, infiltration rate is reduced. Okay, or so there are fruits. Okay, now you got your answer that how does deforestation reduce rainfall on the one hand and leads to flood on the other? Okay, so you can understand now by this example. Okay, whatever we read till now. So one activity for you that animal life is also affected by deforestation. How? List the points and discuss them in your class. Okay. So you have to discuss among yourself or you can discuss in your family that how animals get affected by that. Next is conservation of forest and wildlife. Okay. As we read about these major consequences of deforestation, okay, so we have to prevent plants and animals by conservation of forest and wildlife. Having become aware of the effects of deforestation, Pahli and Pujo are worried. They go to the Professor Ahmed and ask him how forest and wildlife can be saved. Then Professor Ahmed organizes a visit to a biosphere reserve for Pahli, Pujo and their classmates. He selects a place named Pachmadi Biosphere Reserves. He knows that the plants and animals found here are similar to those of the upper Himalayan peaks and to those belonging to the lower Western Ghats. Professor Ahmed believes that the biodiversity found here is unique. He requests Madhavji, a forest employee, to guide the children inside the biosphere reserve. Okay, he explained that preserving areas of such biological importance make them a part of our national heritage. Madhavji explained to the children that apart from our personal efforts and efforts of society, government agencies also take care of forest and animals. The government lays down rules, methods, and policies to protect and conserve them. Wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc., are protected areas for conservation. Okay, so these are the areas for conservation of plants and animals present in that area. So now in these subheadings, main definition of these protected areas are given. Okay, so you have to see them and try to learn. Biosphere reserve is that part of the earth in which living organisms exist or which supports life. Biological diversity or biodiversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationships and their relationship with the environment. Okay, to protect our flora and fauna and their habitats, protected areas called wildlife sanctuaries, as we already described about that. Okay, plantation, cultivation, grazing, felling trees, hunting, and poaching are prohibited there in these protected areas. First, you see about wildlife sanctuary areas where animals are protected from any disturbance to them and their habitat. National parks, areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitats and natural resources. Biosphere reserve, large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plant and animals, resources and traditional life of the tribal living in the area. Okay, so these are the definition of wildlife and you can easily find their difference also among them. Now, activity for you, find out the number of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves in your district, state, and country. Record in table 7.1. Show these areas in an outline map of your state and India. So you can see protected areas for conservation. Okay. So in your district, you have to first in my district, if there is a national park, so you have to write its name. Okay, and wildlife sanctuary if there, if biosphere reserve is there. Okay, or in my state and in country. Okay, so you can make a table like that. So I hope you will be understand till here whatever we have learned in today's class. If you have any confusion you can ask. Okay, in next class we will read about in detail biosphere reserve, national parks, flora, fauna, etc. Whatever protected areas are there for the conservation of plants and animals. Okay, so if you have any query, you can ask me. So please try to make the table and send to me. Thank you.